Hello lovelies, welcome to a new cosplay behind the scenes vlog. I have some random clips from some recent cosplays I've done over the last couple months, and I thought I would share them with you. Let's go ahead and start off with Ben Solo.
So I actually didn't intend this because I'm matching the marks on Ben's face, on Adam Driver's face, some of his birthmarks, and like the scratches on Ben's face, right? But if you kind of look at it in a skewed sense, Adam Driver's beauty marks, although, you know, are a little off kilter, and then the gash in the lip, it kind of gives like a Padme vibe or a Queen Amidala vibe with her little dots and the lipstick in the middle. Weird.
Ben Solo's cosplay consisted of things that I already had, some black t-shirts and long sleeve, a wig I already had, and just really the makeup to make it look like Ben at the end of the movie. So a very easy closet cosplay to throw together. Jumping over to Leia, Tatooine style. What if Leia went to Tatooine? I shot this while I was out of town at the coast, so I got ready in my rental and made sure that I looked very Tatooine Leia-esque. I knew I wanted to shoot this one and the next cosplay on the beach, all around the sand, so that was the goal. And this is my take on if Leia was sent to Tatooine instead of Alderaan. It was a beautiful but windy day when I was shooting this. I did lots of editing in post for adding in some Tatooine suns and the homestead and editing out the ocean and things of that nature. Tatooine Leia consisted of my indoor wig that I already had, kind of this Jedi robe that I had from past Halloweens, as well as some tan tank top and tights, just to kind of give like kind of a Luke look, but Leia style. The next cosplay I did that day was Marion Ravenwood from Indiana Jones. Quick costume and wig change, and then back to the beach to shoot some more Marion, who is of course the best Indiana Jones lady. Again, beautiful day. It was super windy and very bright outside, so I had to really open my eyes for some of these shots because my eyes were squinting so hard and I could not put my sunglasses on for these. Although this cosplay was super duper comfy and I actually walked around down in the pants after I shot this. Marion consisted of this top and the pants. They were both gifted, thank you so much. And then I also added this scarf around the waist similar to what she has. Moving on to Wednesday Addams, the updated version from the TV show. Now the wig I got, as you can see, the bangs were a little long. I wanted a new wig that was extra long to do the Wednesday braids, but the bangs were a little excessive, as you can see. So I need to make some adjustments so I can actually see you. Chop, 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 and we have some Wednesday Addams bangs. And then, of course, in a snap, we have the two long black braids to give the Wednesday Addams vibe. This Wednesday Addams Nevermore costume was gifted to me as well, so thank you much. Then we move on to Emma Swan from Once Upon a Time. I wanted to make something that resembled Henry's book. So this little photo album we vamped up with some special edges and of course some stickers that said Once Upon a Time, but of course so that it reminded us of Henry's book from the show. Now, just in case for some photos and the video, I wanted to add some of the detailed pages from the show as well. So I printed those off and then kind of added them into the book so you could see some of the similar pictures if you're familiar with the fandom. Emma's look consisted of a wig that my lovely friend gave me. The red jacket was gifted and it just screams Emma Swan to me, and then I had the jeans and the white tank. Moving on to Captain Carter. The main work on this was, of course, the shield. We were able to find this thrifted shield, Captain America shield, that was pretty beat up just at a thrift store, and so I decided to paint over it with the British flag, if you will. Goodbye, Captain America. Hello, Captain Carter. I taped off some of the bits, as you can see, but it did take quite a few coats to make sure it was covered a bit better. Once I had the first X, it was time to add in some of the more details of the particular flag. And then after everything was dry and set, I did seal it with a spray paint, kind of make it a little more shiny and just so the paint won't chip off. This amazing cosplay was gifted to me, thank you so much, and I went out and about with it. It was definitely a big cosplay to go out in because it does not look like normal clothing, but I had this idea of where I wanted to shoot it, and while I did see many people passing by, no one was mean or stared too much, so it was a successful shoot at this particular location. I do tend to get very nervous out and about, especially if I'm the only person in cosplay. But like I said, sometimes I have these specific visions for my cosplay shoots and I want to shoot them there. I'm getting a bit better with being in public with the cosplay, but not 100%. The anxiety still gets me a bit. So for this cosplay, I mean, it's pretty much the whole getup and everything adjusted to me, and then I threw on some boots with it, made the shield of course, and voila! Miss Peggy Carter. Next up we have Batgirl Barbara Gordon that I did for my birthday this year. Batgirl has been a dream cosplay for me for a while, longtime favorite character, so let's put her together. I got these little clips to add on to my utility belt, if you will, and my main colors for my Batgirl are always like purple and yellow that inspire me from the 1960s show. So while this green is lovely, I needed to paint it back to purple to fit the vibe that I was doing for this Barbara. While I was at it, I had the Batman mask that I was going to adjust and add a bit of purple to it, make it a little bit more Batgirly-esque. Just adding little touches to make it seem more like Batgirl to me and the vision that I had from, various versions of my favorite Batgirl into my version. Added a couple more coats to the utility belt pieces, if you will. And then Batgirl consisted of this Batgirl bodysuit, the utility belt that I put together. You have the yellow belt with the little pieces on the side. The cape I have had for years now, and then I got this new mask and added the purple to it, of course, and the red hair. This was a long sleeve bodysuit, but I wanted to add the yellow gloves on top to give it more of the Batgirl look. Next up, we have Huttslayer Leia, which was selected by my Patreons for a special reward. Shocking, I know. I started off the journey while trying to get some spray paint to spray paint some of my chain and failed because no one ever came to let me in the case. So I had to find it in a different store, this gold spray paint, and get started with some of my props because Huttslayer does need some chains. While these looked great for Halloween, I wanted them to be more gold, like in Return of the Jedi. And time to get some of that spray painting done. These were a little bit difficult to spray paint because there are so many edges on so many of the chain links, so you gotta kind of move it around, let it dry, let it sit, and then add some more so that it looks consistent, but weathered at the same time. This is Jabba's palace after all. And there we have our chain. I was lucky to find this particular Huttslayer costume. It's the one that I really wanted, and I liked the look of it. Some of them I was just not a fan of. Thank you to a couple cosplay contacts that kind of pointed me in the right direction. It was also kind of had to make sure it fit a plus-size body, of course, but I ended up liking how this turned out for Huttslayer. Then we have She-Hulk. She-Hulk, of course, needed the green skin, and I did like the purple vibes of the makeup. Here's just some behind the scenes of me trying to shoot and being a bit silly. Threw on my green wig, green sleeve top so I didn't have to paint my arms, and of course the tights as well. I originally was going to make this look long ago, and I tried to make the bodysuit in a couple different ways and they kept falling through, so I got this She-Hulk costume instead and was finally able to create it. It is the version of She-Hulk that I wanted to do, so that's always a plus. And I will probably bring her back again. Then moving on to Summer Wonder Woman. This year I wanted to do some more summer looks because I had so much fun with Elvira last year. I was gifted the swimsuit, which just screamed Wonder Woman to me and was perfect for the inspiration picture I found. But I also wanted to add in some of the stars to kind of give the Linda Carter Wonder Woman vibe. So I had to head to the fabric store and find some star fabric that wasn't too 4th of July. I found this and thought it was super pretty blue and sparkly, and it worked perfectly for my swimsuit cover. Another costume that I did go out and about in, but it didn't feel as weird because it was at the river and everyone was in swimsuits. I don't even know if people realized that I was in a cosplay, so that's always good. Trying to see the camera in the sun is always super fun as well. Trying to see if you're in the right shot when you're trying to do and take pictures of yourself is always super duper fun, but I'm very used to it by now. Also making sure that you don't fall into the water when the boats are going by and the waves pick up.
Sploosh.
I might. Good thing I'm in a swimsuit. That went real deep. I'm a short person.
While I am in a swimsuit, I didn't really want my wig to get all river watered. So for Wonder Woman, I have the brown wig, of course, that I had. The headpiece came with my previous Wonder Woman cosplay. And I got these amazing wristlets from my previous cosplay as well. You have the swimsuit and the cover. Moving on to Black Cat. This was such a random cosplay. I say that because in the back of my mind I've wanted to cosplay her for years, but I never got around to it. So one day I just decided to do it. It was kind of inspired by the strikes happening right now because she's more of a comic and game character, and I'm so glad I did this. I got the furry fabric, and then I decided to pin and add it to the white gloves that I had. That was kind of the main piece of putting this cosplay together because I already had the black bodysuit, which was super helpful. I was gifted this amazing Black Cat mask, and I already had the wig and the choker, and as I said, the corset and the black bodysuit, and then of course I added the fur to the neckline as well, so it really gave the Black Cat appearance. Then we move on to Summer Ivy, a look that I was planning all summer, and it kept getting pushed because of heat advisories, lightning storms, and so on. Hey lovelies, I'm going to try and do some prep in my yard for like a cosplay shoot that I kind of need to set up. It's not too hot today, which is good, so we'll see if I do the setup and filming, or just the setup. If I do the filming, I might get a little chilly, but that's okay, because I've been meaning to do this cosplay, and because of weather conditions, I've had to keep putting it off. Finally opening up the inflatable pool that I got at the beginning of summer that was on sale, and I had this image for this cosplay shoot. Little did I know that we would come across some issues with actually getting this pool inflated. While the box suggested you only needed a foot pump with this, that would have taken forever, and it ended up the foot pump that I bought was broken anyway. So here I am trying to set up my set and realizing that I have no way to pump this pool up. Luckily, my dad doesn't live that far away, and he has an air compressor. So we filled it up over there, but I will say when I put it in the back of my truck, it kind of looked like this. It was way bigger than expected, and it was such a nervous drive home. I kept thinking it was going to fly away even though I had it tied down at every point. Finally, I made it home and it was time to start filling the pool up. After that exhausting day though, I let it fill up and then prepared to shoot the next day. Makeup and everything, of course, before heading out and setting up the cameras. Desperately trying to add some hot water to this mess because I waited so long and had so many up and down days and I needed to get this shot. I filmed it on like a 60-degree day. It was absolutely freezing, cool outside, and the water was so cold. I got these green bath bombs because I really wanted the water to give the green appearance for Ivy and not just look like the bottom of a pool. Here we go. Now to properly freeze my ass off. Holy fuck. It's a chili. And when I say it was cold, it was freaking cold. And now I shall drink hot coffee before I film the rest of this cosplay, because I did in fact freeze my ass off. Hot water didn't help, and it's only about 69 degrees outside. And so Ivy consisted of this beautiful swimsuit that just gave me the Ivy vibes, and of course the red wig that I already had to pull it all together for my Ivy look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed little tidbits of behind the scenes of some of my more recent cosplays.